Magic myself since I was about his height, which was quite a number of years ago. Now most of the time when I do magic, I do close-up magic, but the limitation of close-up magic is that your audience has to be rather close up so that they can see small things like coins or playing cards. Well, with some technical difficulties we had, we couldn't put a live feed on the screen tonight, so I've had to abandon close-up magic, and I'm going to enter into a different area of magic that I've never tried before. You get to be my very first audience as I attempt to predict the future. Now, I'm not actually going to be making any predictions tonight. I actually made my predictions about 2 weeks ago. Tonight we're going to reveal my predictions and we're going to see how close I came to getting this right. Now, since I'm new to this type of magic, I decided to start out with an easy prediction and get harder and harder. My final prediction tonight, the odds against me will be 175 million to 1. Those are some staggering odds. That's what I'm up against. As I talked with Pastor Walt on Facebook about doing this, Pastor Walt jokingly asked me, he said, "Dave, if you get those predictions wrong, can I gather up some rocks and some friends to bestow a false prophet?" Now, obviously, Pastor Walt was joking. At least, I hope he was joking. But the question does reflect some confusion I want to clear up before I go any further. Folks, this is not a prophecy. I'm not starting my performance tonight with the words, "Thus saith the Lord." I'm not revealing some vision of the future God showed me. Tonight, I am doing what magicians always do. We create illusions. For instance, if I take a playing coin and I make it seemingly vanish, the coin doesn't really vanish. The coin is simply hidden. Excuse me. Hidden in my nose. I've got to find a better place to hide that. That's what magicians do. We create illusions. Things appear to be one way, they're really another way. So, unlike the phony psychics that you see on TV, I will openly admit that I'm phony. I will openly admit that this is an illusion and not a miracle. We all clear? Yeah. All right. For my first prediction, I'm going to need a couple of volunteers from the audience. Jared and Alicia, could you kindly help me out? It's easy. Please, come on up. How about a nice round of applause? One of you can be over here, one of you over here. All right, I have a bag full of pieces of paper. They all have different numbers on them. You can sort of be the eyes for the audience. They can't see my numbers from there. We have 80. We have 67. We've got 40. You get the idea. Different numbers. Jared, all I'd like for you to do is just reach into the bag and take one number. Just one. You got just one? Alicia, would you also reach into the bag, take just one number? You got just one? Okay, you guys hold on to your numbers for just a moment. And I've also asked Chris Everard if he could help me out tonight. And while Chris is coming down to the stage, let me explain how he fits in. About 2 weeks ago, on Saturday, November the 8th, I recorded several predictions on a CD. The next day, Sunday, November 9th, I brought the CD with me here to church, and I gave it to Chris. This video has been on my Facebook page for the last 2 weeks, but in case you haven't seen it, we're going to watch it here tonight. Chris, basically, I've come up with a prediction of things that I think are going to take place here within the next 2 weeks. Okay. I've recorded them over here on this CD, and I'll play for you a short sample right now.
Okay.
Notice we have one track.
Got it.
My name is David Bartmess. Today is Saturday, November the 8th, 2014. And today I'm going to try to make several predictions to be revealed the night of the talent show.
Okay.
My first prediction is that the sum of the two numbers chosen by my two volunteers will be 107.
That's all I can play for now.
Okay.
There's more to it. All I need from you is to take the CD.
Okay.
And to basically just guard it.
Okay.
Protect it from prying eyes or ears in this case.
Okay.
And bring it with you the night of the talent show.
Will do.
So, Chris, could you take the CD, put it inside our envelope, please?
Okay.
And there's an adhesive strip on the envelope. You can go ahead and peel that off then.
Hold her over.
Slowly let her up. All right. I'm going to sign my name right across the gap between the envelope and the seal on this side. And if you could sign one between the gap and the seal on the other side. Guard that prediction. Keep it with you. Bring it with you the night of the talent show.
Will do.
Thank you for your help.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Chris, I can see you have the envelope with you. Before we get to that, let me make something very clear. I've openly admitted I'm doing an illusion tonight, but I also want the audience to know that you're not secretly in on it. I asked you to take the CD, bring it with you tonight, guard it, and that's it, correct?
That's correct.
You're not secretly helping me. Fair enough. Chris, have I had any access to that envelope for the last 2 weeks? You kept it away from me. Has the envelope been open?
No, still sealed.
Okay, could you show the audience the side with the flap, and you can still see our signatures across the gap? Chris, if you would, go ahead and rip open the cap and remove the CD. And then there we should find the envelope or the CD, and only the CD, and go ahead and remove it from its paper sleeve. Now, Chris, the CD has 4 predictions on there, and tonight we're going to play them one at a time. So what I'd like for you is this button right here is both play and pause. You push it once for play, you push it again for pause. I'd like to play the predictions one at a time. We'll see whether I got it right, then move on to the next one. Fair enough? Whenever you're ready, go ahead and play for us the first prediction, and then pause it whenever it's done.
Okay, here we go.
My name is David Bartmess. It is Saturday, November the 8th, 2014, and today I'm going to try to make several predictions to be revealed the night of the talent show. My first is that the sum of the 2 numbers chosen by my 2 volunteers will be 107.
All right. The sum of the 2 numbers chosen by my volunteers should be 107. Jared, I think I went to you first. What number did you choose? You chose 73. All right. And Alicia, what number did you choose? You chose 34. And if my math skills are working right, that sounds like 107. Well, that prediction wasn't too hard. There are about 100 different numbers in the bag. You have 2 people both pick a number between 1 and 100 and add them together. The results will be 200 or less. So I had about a 1 in 200 chance for that. Let's see if I can do a little better. Pastor Wall, is that a copy of one of your slides from your sermon notes this morning? And when did you write the notes? This last Friday. And Chris, Pastor Wall had no access to this CD or anything on it? Good enough. Would you please push play? Let's hear our second prediction. Pause it, please go.
My second prediction is that on Sunday, November the 23rd, the first 3 blanks in Pastor Walt's sermon notes would be filled in with the words determined, hardworking, and noble.
Let's get even harder. Do we have any college football fans in the audience? How did Penn State do yesterday?
Not so.
Oh, Penn State lost. Anybody know the score?
16 to 14.
14 to 16. Okay. How about Maryland? How did Maryland do yesterday? Maryland won. What was the score on that one? 23 to 16? All right, Chris, one more time. Could you push play? Pause it when this is done.
My third prediction is that on Saturday, November the 22nd, Penn lose to Illinois by a score of 14 to 16, and Maryland will beat Michigan by a score of 23 to 16.
So far, so good. Well, folks, you've heard the expression, go big or go home. I went big. With my fourth prediction, the odds against me are 175 million to 1. Folks, For my final prediction tonight, I have attempted to predict the winning lottery numbers from last night's Powerball.
Oh no.
Now, let me make two things very clear, folks. First, this is not an endorsement for gambling. I did not purchase any lottery tickets for this or any other lottery, and I encourage you not to waste your money on that as well. The second, let me re-emphasize what I've already told you. This is an illusion, folks. Bear with me, I promised Pastor Wall I would emphasize this point. If you see Penn and Teller, and you see them saw a woman in half, newsflash, Penn and Teller don't really saw their assistants in half, they create an illusion. And if you saw that illusion, I hope none of you would go home, grab a saw, and say, sweetheart, come here, I'm going to try something. That would be murder. If you saw David Copperfield levitate, David Copperfield can't actually levitate, he creates an illusion. And if you saw that illusion, I know none of you would go home, climb to the top of a tall building, jump off, and say, I can fly! Splat. No, you can't. Now, both of those would be very foolish responses to having watched a magician create an illusion. Now, I'm not in the same league as Penn and Teller or David Copperfield. I'm an amateur, a hobbyist. But like the professionals, tonight I'm going to create an illusion. And if, this is a big if you see me pull this off, I hope none of you would go home and think you can beat the lottery because you saw that magician pull off an illusion. That would be a foolish response as well. To put it simply, please don't try this at home. The easiest prediction I'm going to make is that if you ignore my warnings against playing the lottery, and you buy that ticket, I predict you're going to end up with less money than you started with. Yes. So, if I've made myself very clear, I'll stop preaching. I'll leave any other preaching for Pastor Walt. I'll get on with my illusion. 175 million to 1. Those are the odds of picking all 5 regular numbers, plus the Powerball lottery number. Now that's a huge, staggering figure, 175 million. Let me give you a short illustration to show you how big that is. If you went for a hike and you walked heel to toe, how far could you get with 175 million steps? Well, if you left Crossroads Church, you could walk all the way to Disney World in Florida, but you haven't got to 175 million steps yet. From Disney World, you can head across west to Disneyland in California. After getting to Disneyland, you can head north to Seattle, Washington. After arriving in Seattle, Washington, you can head back east to the New England states, to Maine, and then return here to Crossroads Church. And after completing this lap of almost the outskirts of the continental U.S., you would still only be 1/4 of the way to 175 million. You'd need to make that lap 4 times to get that big, to 175 million. Now imagine on each step you left a footprint, and on each lap you walked a little bit to the left or the right of where you would walk before. So now there's 4 sets of footprints going around the continental U.S. You pick one of those footprints at random, and if I pick the same footprint, that's 175 million to 1. That's what I'm up against right now. On the screen, folks, are the winning lottery numbers from last night's Powerball lottery in Pennsylvania. In a minute, Chris, I'm going to ask you to push play. As numbers are being called out, folks, please save your applause until we get to the final number, if I get any of them right. Save your applause to the final number so that we can hear the CD playing. Chris, for the last time, go ahead and push play.
My 4th and final prediction is that on November the 22nd, the winning numbers in Pennsylvania's Powerball lottery drawing will be 23, 49, 53, 54, and 57. And the Powerball will be 35.
There you go. Crossroads, you've been very kind. I thank you for that. Chris, I also want to personally thank you for your help. And as my way of saying thank you, you can take the prediction CD home with you and keep it as a souvenir. Thank you.